fuck or bugger. I'm Ollie Johnson. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, Sam Congrave, and Ian should be joining us shortly. How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing fine. So, Ollie, did you notice that Final Fantasy VIII comes out in a few weeks?
I did, and I am very happy about that. I'm looking forward to playing that again.
Now, the question is, are you gonna stream it?
Well, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Although, Shenmue 3 comes out in November, so I might restream complete versions of 1 and 2 in preparation. Because I did that, but I didn't do it on Twitch. Flies and spiders. I'ma tweet this first. Just a second. Why am I doing it this way? I could do it on my phone. I'll do it on my phone in a bit. Once something interesting gets going. Whoa! What the hell happened to the lighting on my camera? There we go. Yo! Huh.
I say, Cohen, I found this ring in the other camp. Is this yours?
My brother's ring. It's been in our family for generations. Thank you, gentle Hobbit, for finding this keepsake. The path is clear. Good luck finding your friends.
Nori's Cape. I must be on the right track.
Nori's Cape.
Oh god, like Kayfabe News is starting their own YouTube channel.
Ah, cool.
It's the first one I think is on Hulk Hogan telling his brother something.
Oh, how am I out of health potions? Dead. Dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Dead.
Wrestling Regrets about to do a heel heat versus go away heat video.
Yeah. Well, that is a very important distinction.
It really is. And Brian Zane has mentioned quite a few times that people need to learn the difference. Vince McMahon missing from Raw.
Nori's Cape.
I can live with
must
that.
Be on the right track.
Yeah. Now I have to be very, very careful. Oh, a health potion. Huzzah! Because I'm in dire need of one. Why did I do that?
I don't know. Why did you?
I forgot I couldn't swim in this game.
Every person who played Grand Theft Auto 5 then decided to play the classics.
Yeah. I only played Grand Theft Auto 5 once. I remember it being good. I mean, I played through it
I
once.
say, Coleman, I found this ring.
But obviously, fuck Strauss Zelnick.
Oh, I'm getting some buzzing feedback.
Buzzing feedback.
Yeah,
From me.
it seems to be.
What does it sound like?
It's like zzzz. That's really all it is.
Hold on.
Okay, now it's gone. Oh, Stephen Amell to headline wrestling drama series for Stars.
Maurice Cape.
Nice.
I must be on the right track.
Cody Rhodes receives invite.
For Stars, though.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's the network that did Spartacus.
I don't think we're going to have wrestlers calling each other cunts.
It seems kind of appropriate that Stars would do a wrestling thing. If you've seen Spartacus, like they basically turned an ancient Roman ludus into the world's first professional wrestling locker room.
I'm sorry, but when I hear Spartacus, I hear two things. One, that version of Spartacus we watched, and two, the abridged version of
I
Spartacus
say, Coleman.
from the Fate Apocrypha series, where he just runs through a forest swinging a sword, screaming his name over and over again while laughing maniacally. Spartacus! Spartacus! Spartacus!
right track.
Spartacus!
Oh, fuck off.
Vince McMahon missed last night's Raw, and he will miss SmackDown tonight because he's gearing up for the XFL announcements tomorrow.
I hope it goes well for him. I genuinely do.
You're just saying that because you just want him to be gone from the wrestling.
I say, Coleman.
It doesn't matter what I'm saying.
I suppose not, but I thought
Like,
clarification.
he clearly doesn't want to be involved in the wrestling anymore, so...
Maurice Cape.
Look, he
I-
didn't want to be involved in wrestling to begin with.
But yeah, that's what I say. I hope this goes well for him. Like, you know,
The guy and his daughter and his family don't want to actually be involved in the wrestling business. They just happen to have, tried to make a monopoly out of a business that actually wanted him to die at one point.
Yeah. Whew.
But then, will that mean that Triple H has 100% control of WWE?
Would that be so bad?
I'm just imagining when Vince is finally done and he takes all his family with him. And then Triple H is left behind and goes, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." And as soon as he does, he goes into a room and pulls a dust cover off a table, and there's an entire group of people that Vince hates underneath. Like Road Dogg, Raven, Jeff Jarrett, and everyone else. And like, right, writing team, the day has finally come.
It's okay, he's gone now.
They just have Jim Cornette at the end going, "Has it finally happened? Has Vince finally given up on the wrestling business?"
Yes, Jim.
Yes, Jim. It's over. Good. Now we can start actually making this a goddamn wrestling company.
Fuck off, spiders. Okay. Right, since we've saved, I'm going to take this opportunity to share the stream.
Mm-hmm. as we've been hearing over the weekend, NXT appears to be moving to the USA Network.
Cool.
The move is expected to be made tomorrow, when the show is expected to be a 2-hour format and be live each week on Wednesday nights head-to-head with AEW. Triple H recently told NXT talent that things are changing and that he couldn't tell them anything, but said to watch TV on Monday. In addition, Triple H told the talent he'll see you on the 21st of September. It's likely inaccurate since that is a Saturday. There is talk he meant the 25th and it will be a slip-up so that WWE can get the jump on AEW on TNT. Of course, moving NXT to the WWE Network, the USA Network, is a much stronger choice. The USA Network is also many more homes than Fox Sports 1. The decision is not a matter of money, but simply being a stronger position in numbers to top AEW. As for those wondering, Vince McMahon is to be directly involved in NXT once it moves to the USA. There's already talks about bringing the main roster talent to NXT to provide more star power. This has a lot of people rolling their eyes. That sounds like a terrible idea.
It does. .tv. Where's the slash? There we go. I have tweeted out the stream, and now we can continue playing the game. Right, this is clearly going to require a little more finesse. Or perhaps not. Excuse me. Oh, damn it. I will try one more time. There we go. Money, money, money. Give it to me. Okay, I think I'm gonna need a couple of long jumps with the stick. This is not what I wanted to happen. Okay. Oh, some intense platforming here.
Sorry, I had to slip away for a minute. And the buzzing is back.
Right, hold on a second.
And then now it's gone again. Well, rest in peace, NXT. You were a good show while you lasted.
It's not dead yet.
It might as well be at this point, because if Vince is literally just going to be bringing in the stars to get more star power, you know he's just going to replace the entire roster. Well, be at this point, because if Vince is literally just going to do a whole star, why the hell is Adam Cole still a midget?
Hey?
It's buzzing again. Now it's gone.
Yeah, I think I know what it is.
Hmm.
I think I had my phone too close to the mic.
Ah, I see.
Can you see the stream, by the way?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, NXT might as well be dead, because you know for a fact Vince is just going to replace everyone. I mean, you know, why have Adam Cole or any of the people who built NXT on when you're going to have, you know, Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
They will kill NXT's brand, and it will be literally like NXT Season 5 all over again.
Mushrooms. Oh.
Poor Bilbo. Move, Bilbo, you bloody potato.
I wonder where Ian got to.
He's probably off trying to kill Murdust.
And he'll be saying, die, SJ Azazel.
And then Murdust will be going, I'm not SJ Azazel.
And he'll be going, shut up. You're not fooling anyone.
Yo, just wait till he sees Glam Dust and Funk Dust.
Well, this is going to take a while. I'm going to have to employ a little more than...
Rushing in, swinging a sword around, going, yeah.
Yep.
But that worked so well for you before. How dare they change the rules? Oh. Oh. Well, I did better that time. I think you'd expect you to have a few more recovery items. Maybe.
While I'm not... Right, before I do... There's something that's bothering me about the stream. Just a second. I need to, get to my keyboard. I need a wireless one. There we go. We're showing more of my surroundings than I thought was necessary.
Mm.
And now the mic's fallen over. Come on. Gotta get a more permanent mic set up. Let's have the wait a little more even. There we go. Sorry about that.
No, it's alright.
Right. Also, I couldn't see that health potion icon. It occurs to me that you're supposed to be able to see those.
Hmm.
Well, now I can't see what the fuck is happening. So that wasn't the best idea. We will get them. Where is Ian?
I don't know. Maybe Murdost captured him.
Well, how could he have done? You're right here.
I'm not Murdost.
The old trick, eh? Eat the telly before I get a chance to nick ya.
It's a toaster.
It's a telly, you yobbo!
Gary, spit that TV out. I want to nick you.
Oh, shit. Okay. Those exploding rocks are maybe the key.
God, remember the days when games were hard.
Yeah.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I wonder. No, no, they can see me even with the ring on.
Hmm.
I'm just going to Dark Souls this shit. Dodge! I got all the Hobbit movies on Blu-ray today, actually. They were pretty cheap in CEX. Less than a tenner for the lot of them.
I love how time, lowers the value of certain things.
Yeah. They're not great movies, to be fair. They're good enough. Right, but pale imitation of the Lord of the Rings movies. In fact, I think the first Hobbit movie is the best one. Because it's the only one that actually feels a bit like a Lord of the Rings movie.
Hmm.
Mind you, the one we saw, like, they got worse as they went on. Which, like, I don't hate the Battle of Five Armies, but it's the weakest one. For me, anyway. The one we saw in the cinemas here, the Desolation of Snap, was alright.
Yeah.
Although we saw it subbed for some reason, there were subtitles on the screen. No, I have an idea. Although I'm gonna die and try it with more health. Typical. When I actually decide to let them kill me, they have trouble doing it. There we go. I think the key is in those exploding rocks. And I've just remembered there is a place you can get to where they can't reach you. So, snatch the rocks, go up there, pepper them from a distance. Snatch the mushrooms. Oh, well, okay. Oh, that is not as good a plan as I thought it was. If I use it to take out the necromancer, though, or I assume the one that uses the magic attack, perhaps it would be smooth sailing.
I have returned.
Hey Ian, how you doing?
Thank God. I thought you'd been kidnapped by Murdust and turned into Ian Dust.
How could he have been? You're right here.
I'm not Murdust.
No, SJ Azazel is Murdust.
Oh.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't.
He is.
You can't prove it.
Yet.
You never will. You can't prove either. You just cannot prove that SJ Azazel is Murdust.
Don't
Just like
tell
we
me
can't-
what I can't do.
Is that a Lost reference?
Yes. Over here, by the banyan trees.
Oh, for God's sake.
You just got invited to a stream as well.
Yeah, I told them I was streaming now. They know I am.
I have left that group so many times just to stop this crap.
I think they gave up on me,
Probably.
because I didn't get one.
But you can't prove SJ Azazel is Murdust, just like we can't prove that Marty McGregor is Ollie.
Because he's not Ollie.
Exactly. Just like SJ Azazel isn't Murdust.
Yes, he is. I just haven't got the proof yet.
I don't know where you came up with this, opinion of yours, this wild theory.
Because he fights like SJ Azazel. He even looks like him.
He looks nothing like him.
He wears purple.
That was actually off topic. That was actually kayfabe news' the excuse for why the woman who attacked Natalia wasn't Sasha Banks. It could have been AJ Lee. It could have been Alundra Blaze. It could have been Claire Lynch. And then when it says Sasha Banks, it can't be Sasha Banks because Sasha Banks' hair is purple.
It could be Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan finally tells his brother something. Okay, come on then. What do you want to tell me, Terry? I'm very busy.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Okay, I'm here. Tell me. After 30 years, I'm here. Finally, tell me something. I was going through my Twitter feed and someone posted this thing. It was a really bad American comic. It was one that someone had clearly made, but they said it was a Family Guy one, but someone went, this is definitely something that I can see Seth MacFarlane actually putting into his Family Guy thing, because at this point he doesn't really care about his show and just wants it to end by any means necessary.
Apparently he doesn't write for it anymore.
Yeah, I have heard he's basically... The theory is that once he killed Brian off that first time, that was kind of his way of just saying he's done, since Brian was basically his insert character, or had become his talking piece. But once he'd killed the character off, he'd said that he's partially just wanting everyone to be done with it so he can just move on to other things, because he's kind of done.
Well, he's not on, as Ian said, he's not on the writing team anymore. He's basically just a voice actor for it.
That's fair. Well, good for him anyway. But let's face it, the show has kind of reached a point where it's just Simpsons levels of just let it die already. I was thinking.
It has reached the point where Seth MacFarlane no longer has the right to have a go at The Simpsons for outstaying its welcome.
Speaking of, do you ever think The Simpsons live in alternative reality where they just want to die? But they can't because this reality just won't let them. Well, I think there's a thing like, please, we don't want to do this anymore.
Ah! Who else wants some?
Well,
I mean, I saw the Super Eye Patch Wolf thing where he tried to explain The Simpsons just finished their 30th season, got the lowest ratings they ever got, ever.
Which is saying something.
And yet they've been renewed for 2 more seasons. So, yeah, and then he was trying to explain the reason why it's continuing on, and he basically said because memes.
well, if the dimension conversion is anything to go by...
Oh, don't you fucking start, Ian. Don't you goddamn start with that Magic-chan bullshit.
Dimension conversion?
Oh, God. Ian, do you want to take this?
Okay. Chris Chan believes that soon the real world and the cartoon world will collide.
Of course he does.
Basically, the way he explains it is he thinks that all OCs and all characters exist in some alternative reality. He's given numbers, especially, and apparently about 3 months ago, he said something along the lines of the dimensional merge was coming on a certain date, of which Donald Trump would be kicked out of office and Lisa Simpson would take over as president or something. And all our OCs would become real, and therefore we had to literally accept them into our lives, give them homing accommodation and everything else, all that shit. And then, of course, it never fucking happened, and he said it was delayed. And then recently, he said he's done a body swap with one of his characters, Magi-chan Sonichu.
Yeah, he's even talking in Magi-chan's voice.
Which is just his voice, anyway.
Yeah. And
That's
I don't
the
know
thing.
how long is it.
I watched the video and I saw the thing where he kept saying how You can tell I am no longer Christine Chandler because of my mannerisms and the way I talk. Is like, it's exactly the same. You still stutter and mix up words.
I don't know how long he's going to keep that one up.
Oh, God.
I mean, does he
Is
walk
Bob
around the house telling Bob that he's Magic-Chan?
Is Bob dead?
Well, probably talking to a corpse anyway.
Oh, God, we've gone on Norman Bates.
Well, it's only Norman Bates if he dresses up like her.
Well, he was wearing her underwear for a very long time and putting
Yeah,
it up
but
on
that
the
was
internet.
before. Yeah, but that was before her dying days.
Does that make it any worse?
Possibly.
And he hasn't killed anyone in the shower yet.
He hasn't got he doesn't even step in that shower. Why would anyone else?
Well, so he won't go full Norman Bates then.
Not yet. He hasn't got the balls to.
That's true.
I mean, look, I've seen the people commenting, and it seems like the worldwide opinion. The opinion now is that people are now refusing to call him by his pronouns because they said he's not a real trans person. He's a predator pretending to be trans just because he thinks lesbians don't have standards. Apparently,
That doesn't really happen.
I know it doesn't, but that's what he believes. Because the thing is, he's dressing like a woman from like what cartoons make people think women dress as. Like, he doesn't understand what women actually are because he hasn't really spoken to real women. He's just going off of what media, internet, and everything else makes him think women act and dress like. Which turns out isn't anything like what women are.
Yeah. I mean, the closest he's ever come to like being near a woman is with trolls.
Or Megan.
Yeah. But he didn't get close enough to her.
Well, no, because she spent most of her time trying to get him away from her.
Yeah. But then again, would you even want to be friends with her?
I don't really know, because the way I've always seen it with Megan is that we really only have a few people's opinions of what Megan actually like.
I mean, because the whole Nazi thing is off-putting.
Yeah, I will admit that her obsession with the Nazis was kind of weird, though. It was more
What was the nature of this obsession with Nazis?
It was more that she liked the outfits.
Because in Germany they have a saying. If there is one Nazi at a table and 10 people sitting around there talking to them, then that is a table with 11 Nazis.
Well, the nature of her obsession was, she said she didn't support them so much as she just thought the uniforms looked kind of cool.
And she seemed to be attracted to handsome German men.
I have heard that in Germany they have that saying.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, Germany were the first people invaded by them, so...
Yeah. Many people forget that the first country the Nazis invaded was their own.
And Ollie's obsession with Captain America coming right out there.
I don't have an obsession with Captain America, it's just the best
Really?
Avenger.
So the fact that you like to dress up as Captain America...
I dressed up as Captain America once for the sake of a Marvel Ultimate Alliance stream.
And not only that, but the wrestling version of you has Captain America's moveset. Mm?
Does he?
Yeah, that was me, though. But it's still there.
Yeah, and you never said anything when I told you when I showed you guys the picture I had taken with Captain America.
Oh. I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But even so, I don't know if I'd be friends with Meg, mainly because I don't think most of our interests would have coincided anyway.
Mm.
Mainly because I'm not really a fan of Sailor Moon and stuff like that.
I don't understand why you get so preoccupied with this stuff. Like, I mean,
I know you don't, but
I don't get it.
I know.
It's
And let's
some idiot on the internet. There's loads of them.
Yeah, but Chris is a very special kind because his history is just so ludicrous.
I know, and there's a little bit of him inside of all of us.
Oh,
I don't
God.
think there is.
No, Wally, I think you've got to understand, for me and Ian especially, there is the whole... We got the help we needed at a certain point that made us better people.
Hmm.
Chris never got that, and Chris is a grim reminder that we could have become this if we hadn't had the people and the help in our lives that we got.
He's a walking, talking cautionary tale.
I think that's kind of what... Because there is the whole wonder of what there has been the question of why are we so interested in Chris Chan? Why is he as famous as he is on the internet, and why are we so obsessed with looking up his history? It's because anyone could have become Chris in that situation, and I guess it's really trying to figure out what it was that made him that way and how we can stop our kids from ever becoming that way.
I think that's giving Chris himself the benefit of too much doubt.
You say that, but again, if you really look into the history and you really look into everything that me and Ian have, you can just see how easily everything could have gone wrong.
Can you, though?
Actually, yeah. If I hadn't had, say, Charlotte, you, or certain people in my life, I probably would have ended up like Chris Chan in some capacity.
Oh god, I've got to find those urns. Right,
And,
okay.
and let's face it, the whole Shigeru Miyamoto saga is just so fucking ludicrous, it's hilarious.
Are you the Mario who plays fair, or are you
I
the
think
Bowser who cheats and lies?
I think for me, it's just the whole him being given a very long discussion by Reggie Fils-Aimé to pretty much say, look, I think, Chris, you're an artist and I respect you and everything, but at the same time, maybe this isn't the best thing for you. Maybe you need to start reconsidering your project and everything, and maybe thinking about what in it is inappropriate for the audiences that we would be selling it to. And his response being, yeah, well, I bet you smoke and drink.
Hey, Pete.
Hello there, Pete.
Hey, Petey. Yeah, well, I bet you smoke.
And he goes on a tirade of how smoking and drinking is bad for you.
Though honestly, for you, it's I guess the Liquid Saga.
Yeah.
For me, it's the Alec Benson Leary one, just because he doesn't understand he tried to pretend that Sonichu couldn't be sued by Sega because it was a parody. Then someone made Aspachew, and instantly that's suddenly the line.
Oh, my favourite part of that saga is the bit where Chris pretends to be his mom.
Oh God, what, you mean the one where he can't handle a phone conversation with a guy with Asperger's?
Yeah.
We didn't realise you were streaming as well. We're doing a Trop stream. I did share it to the group chat, but I can't really reach my keyboard from here. So, it's difficult.
Yeah, I remember that he couldn't defend any of his points, so he pretended to be his mom
Yeah.
to call himself away.
Yeah.
Or what about the one where Clyde Cash allegedly had Julie at gunpoint?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he's got a gun. What are you gonna do, Chris? I'm praying.
His supposed girlfriend is at gunpoint, and he's all like, "Oh, I can't use the car because my parents won't let me."
I'd come rescue you and save you from being murdered, but my mom told me I can't drive the car after 10. That's what his argument boiled down to.
Strikes me
I mean,
oh, for fuck's sake.
I remember for a while people were worried he'd become the next Elliot Rodger.
I don't know
But they're
who that
reassured-
is.
You know, okay, so you know how mass shootings are a big fucking deal now?
Yeah.
The feeling was that Elliot Rodger was the biggest, tried to be a shooter, well, a mass shooter, but he failed on every conceivable level. Basically, his dad was a filmmaker, but he made a really shit movie that ruined his entire family's fortune.
Right.
And Elliot believed that women only wanted men with money. So he tried to win the lottery. And his mental psyche kept getting worse and worse every time he didn't win. So he wrote out this entire manifesto that everyone kind of knew was coming, and he set out this entire plan to murder blonde women, but he kind of never really succeeded. So there's like an entire documented, like, there's loads of things on Elliot Rodger explaining how it all went down, but there's things like the only people he managed to kill were his own roommates, 2 random girls he saw because he could not apparently break into the sorority house and shoot all the pretty blonde women because he was outwitted by a door.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that. Do you want to join
Yeah,
us after?
basically he was trying to kick down the door, open the door, go in and shoot everyone, but the door was locked. But people have been reassured, don't worry, Chris will never become Elliot Rodger because he doesn't have the balls or really any courage to kill anybody or really harm people because he's a natural coward.
Also, the other difference is Chris is at least funny.
Yeah.
Whereas Elliot Rodgers is just pathetic.
Yeah. Just remember the Parappa video.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to join us afterwards? I'll see how I feel at the end of the beat.
Well, that's the thing. I still blame that one competition he won as a kid for making him as entitled as he was.
Well, it's because his parents encouraged it.
Well, granted, he won a contest that, good for him.
Yeah.
But then his mom basically rewarded him and gave him everything he wanted because, spoiled child and everything. And then every time he enters a contest, he actually enters thinking that he will win every single one. And if he doesn't win, he doesn't take it well. If you look at his actual Parappa the Rapper thing that Sony, the contest that Sony did, he should have been disqualified right away.
Yeah.
Because he was using features from his camera he was told not to use.
And he was begging for votes.
He was begging for votes, admitted to using sock puppet accounts to literally boost his votes.
Mm.
And to top it all off, he actually didn't even sing the song right.
And kids, this shows that cheaters don't prosper.
Oh yeah, and then remember that he said that everyone else should be disqualified and he voted after himself, and you could tell it was him because whenever he used an account, he always said the word autistic in block capitals.
It's America's favorite pastime of kick the autistic.
Yeah, whenever he loses. Then he made all those videos of getting mad at winning. And literally everybody else winning because he didn't understand what a cappella was.
Mm.
Because a cappella's apparently completely okay for the contest so long as you don't use real music.
Or indeed any music.
Well, that was the thing. The contest thing was that you had to basically rap one of the songs from Parappa the Rapper. You couldn't use more than one person in your video unless it was part of the, part of the video, the song you were doing, you couldn't use actual music, and you couldn't have anyone else singing in the video. And the winner happened to have his sister in because the song needed 2 people. But he did all the voices and even did the a cappella bit.
Well, she just lip synced.
Yeah, she lip synced, so it was within the rules.
But
And Chris only became a finalist because so few people actually entered the contest anyway.
It's kind of. I think it's kind of strange. You saw like the sister in the video, and he probably assumed that she was singing as well.
Again, Chris is not very aware.
I mean, it's strange having like this male voice come out of this young girl.
Well, again, remember, Chris can't tell what a girl sounds like because, again, he fell for Blue Spike.
Yeah.
I just want to say, remember that he thought, this was an actual woman's voice.
Chris, help me.
Yeah, he thought that was an actual girl and it was a 13-year-old boy. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Blue Spike saga is kind of, especially the way it ended was just pushed it too far. I mean, it's one thing for them to, troll Chris the way they did, but to make him actually physically harm himself was a bit much.
Yeah. And it was pretty bad until the Idea Guy saga.
Oh god, the Idea! Have you seen all the other weird stuff from the Idea Guy about the moon being dropped on Quickville?
Oh yes, you told me about that.
Moon. No! Because that's the thing. Chris is so deluded at this point, probably from it's possible that due to everything that's happened, his reality has been warped.
Yeah.
So he does truly believe that Quickville exists in some way.
Yeah.
And if other people mention anything, even if it's a lie, he will somehow conceive it's true in some capacity.
Well, thing is, with Blue Spike, he harmed Chris like physically, whereas
that was the line. I mean, I've actually listened to the stream done because they actually muted everybody in that chat.
Yeah, and
I've actually heard unmuted stuff where they're literally telling him, "No, stop it. This isn't funny. This isn't right. You don't do this. This is going too far."
And then, whereas the Ideas guys, they harmed him mentally.
Well, so did Alec Benson Leary. I mean, hell, that one guy, I can't remember the name of him, D-Stex.
Yeah.
He believes Adam Benson Leary is the worst troll ever because he says all the other trolls, all they did was attack him in the real world. This guy attacked him in the one place that Chris felt safe.
Well, the thing is, with Alec Benson Leary, he was trying to
I feel he was trying to help in some capacity because he wasn't bullying Chris. He was flat out explaining, look, your comic book cannot be sold because all Sonic Shoe is, you've written in the comic that he is a Pokemon. Pokemon belongs to Nintendo. Ergo, if you try to sell it and you still have him canonically as a Pokemon, then Nintendo will sue you because Pokemon belong to them. Sonic the Hedgehog belongs to Sega. Sega can sue you. And then you've also got things like Transformers and all kinds of anime stuff in there that belong to other people. They could sue you too the second you make a single penny. So either reboot, if you really are serious about making money off your own creation, don't use copyrighted stuff. And Chris couldn't wrap his head around it being copyrighted.
Which is why he pretended to be his mum.
Yeah. Well, that was really all Alex Coles really came to was literally, look, what I'm doing is parody. I'm not making any money off this. This is something I do in my free time. You are actually seriously trying to make money off this, so, that can't work.
Seb is here and he says Jack's never heard of Anne Frank.
And frankly, I'm surprised.
What, he's never seen The Miracle Worker?
Oh my god, Ollie!
That was a Clerks reference.
I know it was, and it's... Speaking of, I did want to speak about one particular movie that Kevin Smith did that no one talks about that involved everyone from Clerks.
Right.
It's called Vulgar.
Uh,
Basically, the guy who plays Dante is a party clown with a really shit life because every single day when he drives off to do his job, 2 asshole teens turn up and throw a milkshake into his car. It's not even a comedy, but I keep laughing every single time. Him dressed as a clown drives his car, has milkshake thrown at him, and he screams, "Fuck you, bastards!" And then everything goes to shit, and then he comes up. This is going to get dark, by the way. He decides he doesn't want to do this job anymore because it's not making him any money, any real money, and his mom keeps mocking him for existing. So he talks to his friend about this joke service he plans to do. You know, like stag do's where they have like hired joke performers and stuff. Like they say they're going to hire a stripper, but it's something else. Basically, he plans to do that, where he's dressed as a clown in women's clothing and just like he's sent as a prank. Now, I don't know what the hell was going through Kevin Smith's mind when this happened, but his first client pretty much rape him.
Right.
And this kind of gets really dark as hell, especially considering it's in black and white. And this kind of becomes a thing where he like meets up with his friend who keeps mocking him, but then when he finds out what happened, kind of tries to help him get on his feet, and then he actually becomes like a celebrity for something and gets his own show. And the guy that physically, sexually assaulted him, kind of sees him on television and tries to blackmail him.
Ah.
It gets really weird because the thing is, he apparently does this regularly, like kidnaps and rapes random men for some reason, along with his 2 sons. One of which dies in the movie in the stupidest way possible, by the way. He literally grabs a shotgun and stares at the end of the barrel and pulls the trigger and blows his own brains out because he doesn't understand how a shotgun works.
He doesn't understand how a shotgun works.
Yeah, in a big shootout thing, he's just staring at the end of a barrel of a shotgun that he's picked up and then pulls the trigger on himself and blows his own brains out. Look, I'll save this for another thing, because I honestly haven't seen the movie in 10 years. Maybe even longer. And I still can't believe it's something Kevin Smith made. I mean, the guy who plays Jay turns up in it, but it's just to sell the guy who plays Dante guns.
Oh, God.
What?
A White Lord.
Who disturbs my rest?
But yeah, getting back onto the Alex thing. I mean, I've read some of Aspachew, and he even threatens Chris with the Sonichu Rising comic thing, and he was doing some things to annoy Chris, but it was mainly to prove a point. Because again, Chris believed that cartoon characters were real, and therefore they had their own feelings and preferences, and he didn't like the fact that a character called Aspachew would like to be called that. And he goes, look, I created Aspachew, so he likes his name because I wrote him to do so. That's kind of how a creative process works. You make the characters like the things you want them to like and hate the things they want to hate.
Well, I spoke to Aspachew.
Oh, God, yeah.
And he don't like you.
Yeah, I don't think he actually said he spoke to Aspachew. He just said he didn't think that Aspachew would like his name. He goes, well, I created Aspachew and he likes his name. Then he was trying to make him change all of their names to something else because they're ripping off my characters. And goes, but my characters aren't Pokemon because I don't use copyrighted materials. Although his Sonichu Rising thing is a definite jab at Chris Chan. Like how when they resurrect Patty Chan.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Patty Chan? Yeah, see, our father unfortunately didn't even want to let the rules of death exist, so he brought back his dead dog. And forced it to do his bidding by, he claims to be Christian. He's actually satanic magic. Oh, then they kill Chris Chan, but apparently it's okay because Chris Chan's real and they're not. And they've just got actual photos of Chris Chan, but they've edited it like so they've got him holding an axe. And he plays.
Don't kill Mark Gatiss.
And he also has a Hexbox 320 or something. Oh, and remember when they upset him because that Raichu was male?
Yeah.
Because the new information had come out after he'd made the comic that apparently female Raichu's tails are a different shape. So they suddenly decided that Rosachu was actually a man at some point. Look, those two Raichu are going at it, but they're both male, so that's totally homo-gay.
Yeah, well, I bet you smoke and drink.
The best way to win an argument.
Next to, I was frozen
Looks as if
today.
3 different objects fit on these pedestals.
Now, I wonder if it's worth going back and saving so I don't have to get that urn again. Because I'm probably going to die to this White Lord a bunch of times. Because I don't have any health potions. I wonder if there are cheats. This was from the era where cheats were a thing. I wonder.
Oh yeah, when Christian comes back with a fucking vengeance and becomes the Mary Sue. Where he basically becomes Colossal Christian, who doesn't grow any bigger. So he kills all of his enemies by causing 9/11. I want to stress that he basically causes 9/11 to happen by him playing a power ballad.
Yeah.
Then flies off to the world of Aspertu, cures all their autism, and then collects all of the women that apparently live in Alec's basement because for some reason he believes that Alec keeps women locked up in his basement.
Like
And
Alex doesn't have anything better to do.
Yo, Alec. Oh, and then he sends them to live in soup hotels. Oh, the phone's going. Hold on.
So, do the undead have a currency, Ian? Like this White Lord?
I don't know.
They're like Monster Munch, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I require a bag of Monster Munch, or you may not pass.
Said Malcolm McDowell.
I'll do it for a lion bar and a pepperoni.
His gambling debts are so colossal, people just won't give him money anymore.
Oh, fuck. You know, I've got it figured out. Why do people work? To put food on the table. So why would I take money when I can just cut out the middleman and have them pay me in food?
Yeah. And I have rather a sweet tooth. Yes, I know I'm only killing myself faster, but then again, lately I've been storing in a lot of shit, so what the hell?
Right, there's a way to do this, but it's tedious, it's going to take a while, and there are many ways I might die in the process.
You want me to be in the MCU? That is going to require a crunchy.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Good sir.
Indeed.
We believe the undead use Monster Munch as currency.
Seems appropriate, doesn't it?
Does the flavour, mean anything? I mean, could we say that pickled onion is like the lowest form of currency, whereas bacon might be like the equivalent of maybe a pound or something, and, well, red hot's kind of their high currency, but they're really, really rare currency that you very rarely see other vanilla-flavoured Monster Munch that was only available for a little while.
Possibly. And it's not bacon, it's roast beef.
Oh, I've had bacon ones up here.
Yeah, but the one with the pink monster's roast beef.
Oh. Oh, I'm pretty sure it was bacon up here. I'll have to check that at some point.
That's like the best flavour.
I can't argue with that one.
So meaty.
But the pickled onion one's as common as muck.
Yeah. I mean the spicy ones are alright.
Yeah, the flaming hot ones are okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't beat the roast beef ones.
To be honest, sometimes Chris Chan does things that remind me of someone else from school. Like, there was this kid that Ollie used to know that used to get angry if you insisted something that wasn't true was.
Yes, I know the one.
But Chris Chan will do that, like if you insisted that his name was Ian Brandon Anderson. And he'd get really fucking angry. Mr. Ian Brandon Anderson, stop calling me that name! That's not my name. My name is Christian Chandler.
And I will thank you to remember that.
No. Your name is Ian Brandon Anderson. That was firearm pornography. Also, just remember that every single villain in Chris's saga was literally someone who he thinks had wronged him at some point in life, but really hadn't done anything wrong.
Slow Wheel the Witch.
Yeah, who was originally Mary Lee Walsh. Then there's Clyde Cash.
Count Graduate.
Yes, Ain't Count Graduate, who is literally the manifestation of his graduation ceremony. I just remember that Sylvana was technically a villain solely because she was transgender. I'm pretty sure Chris regrets that now. Well, it is awkward in hindsight.
Well, Hindsight is 2020.
Yeah. But literally making one of his villains purely a villain just because they're transgender. Well, they'd have been cursed with being transgender. I remember how angry he'd get if anyone drew fan art of, you know, Rosa Chew with a pickle.
Cocked by a pickle man.
Yeah, he got cucked by the pickle man. Oh, that's gotta be the most.
Me, are you advertising something? No, this is what I normally wear.
You normally go out dressed as a pickle.
Yeah.
I like pickles.
Hey, so, do you want to go watch Ben?
Oh god.
He deserves nothing.
Oh god, yes, the pickle man. Not of your dating videos and your dates. I have given this picture to every prostitute in the Richmond, Virginia area, and I have told them, give him nothing. He deserves nothing.
I wonder if I can get them to hurt each other.
Give it a try.
The pickle man. All because of Chris's fear of pickles.
Oh, those mushrooms respawn. Do they?
Yay. So it's not completely unfair. Do you remember how Chris described his singing voice?
No, actually, I don't remember how he described his singing voice.
Well, apparently he describes it as something along the lines of Frank Sinatra.
But he sounds nothing like Frank Sinatra. He sounds like he's completely out of tune for one thing. He's got no time. I can't sing very well either, but his timing is completely off. He usually says words 2 or 3 seconds after the words are meant to be said. Yeah, he's got no tone. He's got no consistent tone, and his voice sounds like it's breaking most of the time. And let's face it, he doesn't understand the concept of karaoke songs. Understand that you can karaoke versions of songs. He gets the actual song with the song, you know, with the actual lyrics in, and then tries to sing over the words as they're being spoke.
Oh man, I don't know where he got Frank Sinatra from. But then again, he is delusional.
Mm.
Oh, this is gonna take a while.
Mm. Oh, Mortal Kombat's being rebooted by someone else.
by someone else.
Apparently, so well, at least some other developers doing it other than Ed Boon.
So it's being rebooted again.
Well, the end of Mortal Kombat 11 do you care?
Not really.
Basically, Kronika turns up, and Kronika apparently is an elder god of some kind, or beyond the elder god. She's basically in charge of time, and apparently, when Raiden killed Shinnok and cut his head off, he broke the time stream too much, and she's sick of having to repeat it or undo the damage. So she decides to create a universe. She tries to fix it to remove certain people from time. So she goes back in time, and it kind of fucks up the time stream. So there's two. Basically, Raiden is still Dark Raiden, and he's doing the Netherrealm invasion that he hinted at the end of Mortal Kombat 10. He kills a bunch of Netherrealmers, and Sonya Blade dies, basically.
Right.
She dies in the Netherrealm, but then a time portal opens and brings back classic Jax, classic Liu Kang, classic Kung Lao, and classic Sonya Blade, who is now younger than Cassie.
Right.
Just to throw that. Oh, and also younger Johnny Cage. And just so you know, normal Johnny Cage and younger Johnny Cage hate each other.
Yeah.
Kronika then starts recruiting people from across time, which includes Baraka, Shao Kahn, Devora, two versions of Kano, Cabal before he got burned, Noob Saibot's back
Right.
after being kicked into the Soulnado somehow. Jax gets converted to her side because he wants to change the future. Basically, Kronika can change the future to anything she wants, effectively, if she gets the final thing she wants. So she recruits all the Revenants as well. Though, you know, all the Revenants that couldn't be turned back because Quan Chi's dead.
Yeah.
Frost is brought back, but she's now a Cyber Lin Kuei. The Scorpion that got revived, got turned back human, died. He got killed by Devora, protecting his other self. So the evil version of Scorpion actually decides to help Raiden in the end, who has turned good, by the way. It's a different Raiden.
I thought he was neutral.
What, Scorpion?
Yeah.
Well, this was back when he was still trying to do his murder. When he was trying to murder. Well, when he was still working for Quan Chi and he was actually still trying to kill Sub-Zero. This was before he became neutral. So he joins up after pretty much being told by Future Scorpion that... Because he hates Future Scorpion because he believes that he tarnished the Shiai Ryu by letting non-Shiai Ryu people join it. Anyway, by the end, Liu Kang, some of them learn about their other selves. Like Sonya Blade learns that this universe's version of her was killed. Shao Kahn apparently gets all pissy that Melina was killed. Oh, and he gets blinded, by the way, and he gets Jade comes back from the dead as well, because of course she does. But it's not the Revenant version; it's an alternative universe version of her who's British for some reason. Kotal Khan gives up being the Khan because Kitana apparently managed to do in one day what he couldn't do in his entire reign.
What's that?
She actually managed to unite all of Outworld in one day. She managed to get the Tarkatans and the Shokan to her side, while under his rule he wiped out all of the Tarkatans. Like, he literally eliminated their entire race, and he kind of relegated the Shokan to a peasant race. To be fair, he did rip off all 4 of Goro's arms. So he gives up his position, and so Kitana becomes Kitana Khan. And they have a big old battle against Kronika, which ends with Liu Kang becoming the new... He absorbs all of Raiden's essence and becomes the new Elder God...
Okay. Dude, I just thought, I'm going to archive this. I don't really think we should be talking spoilers for games that people wouldn't be expecting, just in case people see it.
Well, I suppose, but I'm far enough into it at this point. Does it matter?
Well, I guess not.
Okay, well, for future I won't spoil it, but Mortal Kombat 11, anyone who would have bought it by now has already bought it.
Yeah, it's mostly true, I guess.
Well, anyway, it literally ends with everyone pretty much dying in some capacity. I mean, Jax literally Jax turns evil purely because he wants to make sure Jackie never becomes a soldier. Basically, he just wants grandkids, and he doesn't want her to go into, to do the things he was doing. So that happens. Liu Kang fights Kronika and kills her and becomes the new Elder God of Time. This will and the hourglass that controls all of time has gone right back to the beginning of time.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, he's now called God of Fire and Ice or something now. He's like some mixed. He's got all of Raiden's powers now, so he has all this ridiculous amount of power. So he restarts the timeline again, but this time he's going to try and figure out how to, make it better for everyone. So he has to say goodbye to pretty much everyone, and Raiden is now mortal completely now. He's not a god of any kind. So he buggers off. Liu Kang kind of resets the timeline, and we don't know what became of it.
Right.
So I guess that's what the next game's going to be, because now he can just do what he wants. Well, time is now his to do with whatever he wants, and he could technically restart it at any point if he so wanted. So, yeah, they can just... So... There are a bunch of tower endings, obviously, the ones you'd expect, including that really controversial one that Jax does, that everyone got pissed off about.
Did they, though? Or was it just a vocal behind it?
It was reported on enough that people thought it was kind of outside of Jax's character, saying that Jax wouldn't flat out ruin every one of his friends' lives just for race supremacy. Like saying that Jax's entire character was that he was a military man first and thought more of his comrades and everything more than anything else. He wouldn't simply use the infinite power to change the future to make sure those people never existed or probably wouldn't have ever been born, just so that his people could rule the world, while unironically saying he wasn't going to wait for the world to get woke.
Yeah, but Mortal Kombat's right, it's never been good, has it?
Don't get me wrong, I can agree that, I mean, what the hell were they thinking with Shujinko?
That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, the problem was that he got too old by the end, that he couldn't really replace Liu Kang like they wanted him to. By the time that Shujinko reached the end of his character arc for that game, he was older than Liu Kang. By quite a lot.
Yeah, I remember.
But, yeah, I mean, let's face it, the best thing I've seen so far of the game is that they brought Shang Tsung back, but they brought back the movie version.
Ah, cool.
That literally does the whole, your soul is mine thing.
Yeah. What,
That is...
Did they have him voiced by Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa?
I don't know, I'll have to look that up, but they literally have the skin of him that is literally his movie version, and you can change their intro poses and stuff and what they say, and there is literally a whole your soul is mine victory one, where he literally stands over them and points down, it does the same camera angle, and the facial expressions. Yeah, I'm just seeing a thing saying Mortal Kombat 2021 reboot, characters cast Melina, Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, and more. Good, because Melina being gone was kind of an annoyance for me.
She has such a lovely smile.
She really does. Actually, it's weird how inconsistent it is. Well, think about it. In the earlier Mortal Kombat games, she just looks like she's got Baraka's mouth, and then in the reboots, they've changed her voice, her mouth twice. I mean, hell, Mortal Kombat X gave her lips.
How the hell does that do so much damage? And it does a lot less damage to his friends.
Though at least the Mortal Kombat game does give us a whole what would happen if Shao Kahn and Kotal Kahn fought.
Hopefully Shao Kahn would win.
Well, basically, in the fights they have, Shao Kahn pretty much fucking wrecks him. Although Kitana can apparently beat him.
And you know fighting game rules, no female character can be more than 50% as strong as the weakest male.
Well, unless you're, well, there are exceptions here and there, but yeah.
Well, yeah, like Dan Hibiki.
No one's as
Dan Hibiki.
and Skaha in the Fate series, because Skaha's an immortal warrior woman god thing.
Yeah, but that's not a fighting game, is it?
Well, there is one in Japan that has her in. Though Noob Saibot coming back was kind of cool because he has a really fucked up voice for this one.
Right.
He sounds like the door from the Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim.
I see.
Mother would be proud. Though they've just announced Nightwolf as DLC, so that's a thing.
Yeah. Nightwolf.
Shouldn't he already be in the game?
Yeah, they kind of killed him off as a Revenant.
I'm waiting for the inevitable complete edition.
Smartest thing you can do.
The
They
I mean,
announced
so
the-
the what?
Have they announced the guest characters?
The only guest character I've heard of so far is Spawn. The only
That's
real DLC.
disappointing. Where's Pinhead?
Yeah, I mean, the only DLC characters so far are Shao Kahn was a pre-order bonus because, of course, he fucking was. Then we've got Nightwolf and Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung so far. I think that's about it.
I need to wait for those mushrooms to respawn.
Yeah, all he needs is drugs.
Fucking jump, you. Oh. Right, now I really need them to respawn again.
Milkshake?
Milkshake! Back on the bus! Back on the bus!
Yes, your YouTube poop was wonderful.
Here. What, the Jim Sterling?
Yes.
What was your favourite bit?
It's hard to say. The milkshake bit was good enough. Is someone fiddling with tips?
What?
I heard someone moving something around.
Maybe. Oh, for fuck's sake. Can't just let me have full health for a while, can you? Come on, mushrooms. I can't imagine this is exciting viewing.
Well, it's an old PS2 game. Do you want me to look up the Hobbit cheats?
I know what to do. It's just difficult. Oh fuck, no! Oh shit!
See, tips. Different enemies, easy courage points.
I know what to
Fight
do.
Right.
Right, one more try, because we're approaching the 2-hour mark. Oh, as I said before, so I've got me tip jar on the streams now, so these are basically monetized. But for that to make a difference, I'm gonna need to build an audience, and I ain't gonna do that unless I start putting in the time. So, like, I hope you won't be offended if I just start streaming and then you can jump in whenever you see me doing it, now and then.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Because if I want to make a success of this Twitch thing, I'm going to have to put in the time to do it. And, well, I'm not going to coordinate 2 other people's schedules for that amount of time. It's just not realistic.
Dude, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Mushrooms. Okay, I'm slightly less fucked. Oh, God. These headphones for prolonged periods are hurting my ears. Whew. I mean, they're brilliant headphones. I mean, if you manage to get your hands on a pair, I would recommend them, but they will ruin all other headphones for you. These cost me like 120 quid, so I don't see you spending that amount on headphones, to be honest.
No.
Yeah, the kids to look after. Can't go.
Yeah, not to quote Heath Slater here, but I got kids.
I got kids.
Well, I've got a kid.
I miss Heath Slater. Where's Ian? You still there?
Yeah. Ian, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay. He's there. Yeah, I don't know where Heath is these days.
No, these guys really want that monster watch.
Damn.
Oh, fuck off. I'm just getting annoyed with them now. So, I'm not even tense that I'm probably gonna die. It's just a fucking ass. Oh, yeah, I need mushrooms. I need sitters.
Oh, that could be the undead currency.
What?
Mushrooms.
Yeah, but they heal hobbits. Apparently.
Which is why they're attacking you.
Give us back those mushrooms! No, shan't.
Reject Satan, shan't.
Why can't you reject your God?
Hmm?
I had a little evil left between my toes. It quickly multiplied, and now I'm a bigger bastard than ever. Die! Again! Gotcha, you shithouse!
Okay, Ollie's mad. You mad, bro?
A little, thank you for asking. Oh no, I ain't being poisoned for no shit. Damn it. Okay, fuck it. I'll save here first. The White Lord is dead. We have 6 minutes to go. Let's see if we can finish the level. That was an end level boss if ever I saw one.
When bosses used to give you the challenge.
Yeah. Oh, fuck off.
This boot belongs to Ori.
How can you tell it's a completely nondescript boot? It could belong to any of the dwarves. Fuck off, spiders. spiders. That's a lot of spiders. Oh, fuck. This is actually quite a difficult game. Right, we have 4 minutes to finish the level.
This boat belongs to Ori.
You don't know that. Oh. This is getting annoying. There are a lot of spiders to worry about. Right, 2 minutes. I doubt we'll finish the level
This
within 2
boat
hours.
belongs to
But
Ori.
we'll give it a best shot. We'll give it the old college try. I think the stick's better for the smaller ones. Longer reach. Right, okay, now it's just the big guy.
I did.
Hello, Joel. Alright, Spider's dead.
be watching her for a few minutes while I have my shower.
Go
and
ahead,
then
Ada.
just take her with me.
No, go on then.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What's that?
Marvel and Sony end the Spider-Man partnership.
Oh.
No, surely not.
I'm reading it right here.
What's your source?
Nerdist.
Huh.
Sony and Marvel will no longer co-produce Spider-Man movies, putting an end to Peter Parker and Tom Holland's time in the MCU.
They can't allow that to happen.
Hmm.
What the hell is that? What's that in the background? Who's gone?
Oh, I was watching a Gymquisition.
Oh, which one?
The end of Green Light.
Ah.
Barlene's belt. They've got to be close.
Okay, I think we're nearly done. Though I cannot believe that White Lord was not an end-level boss. And I'm out of antidotes.
No, Nicole. You're not climbing up stuff. No. No, you're just going to get yourself hurt.
Right, I think that's gonna have to be it. I don't think I have the energy to keep streaming right now.
It is like almost 10. So I just watched Jim doing his whole "Let Us Cry" for Steam,
Yeah.
and then as he's laughing, he's like, "Oh, hold on, I'm gonna come as well."
Right, well, I think that'll be all for today. Thanks for joining us.
I'll see you all
Yep,
soon,
see
I
you
guess.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.